people, and welcome to the show. It's Monday night, and it's been such an interesting week already. We've only just gotten started. We've got lots to chat about, but before we get going, please make sure that you are sharing with your friends and family what you like about this show, and check it out every time you get an opportunity. We can be seen on YouTube as well, and if you are so inclined, this coming Friday, we're going to do a live Ask Me Anything session. It's an hour show where we are going to be live taking questions live from Twitter and from Facebook. So if you've got something to ask me, we're going to be live asking questions. And I have my trusty producer, Mari, who is going to be with me to make sure that goes smoothly. But it's going to be a first of the Pam Keith show, and so we're excited about it. We're continuing to grow this effort, and we really are enjoying the comments. If you have comments about any segment, please leave a comment. We do respond to comments and questions, and we're continuing to grow this thing. So thank you for your support, and please tell all your friends and family to support. Now, this week, what is important to know? Number one, we're going to talk about this trial that's coming up next week. We're going to talk about what it is and what are the people saying about what it's supposed to be. The second topic we're going to talk about is this abominable story about the pepper spraying of a 9-year-old girl, and what that really means, and how we're going to address systemic issues with our policing. And then, of course, we have our last segment of Q&A. So without further ado, let's talk about this trial. This trial was made for you and me. I'm sure you may have seen a segment on Fox News that was being hosted by Trey Gowdy. And it featured Lindsey Graham. And they were basically going back and forth about the trial that is going to be taking place in the Senate. And Lindsey Graham's take was the Democrats had better not call any witnesses because they didn't need any in the House. And we don't want any trial. And if they call a witness, we're going to call the FBI. And then we'll protract it, and then we won't be able to get anything done in the Senate. Now, just so you understand, what Lindsey was trying to say is he's basically extorting America and the Democrats, and saying that if we choose to have a real trial in the Senate, the Republicans will bog down work on anything else. So we can either have stimulus or have a trial, but not both. And he thinks he got it like that to make that so. I don't think he does. Moreover, I think it's immoral that he would even go there. America has a right to find out if there is a reason to convict Donald Trump of the claims in the impeachment papers, right? That is the whole point of this. Now, the Republicans may have already decided that they plan on acquitting him. I don't give a damn. The American people have a right to know what the evidence is and what the facts are that supported the article of impeachment. They have a right to know. And it is absolutely imperative that the Democrats put on a full trial, the kind of trial that should have been held the first time Donald Trump was impeached. It wasn't held, not because there was no evidence, but because the Republicans didn't want that evidence presented to the American people. They wanted to quickly acquit him without us knowing any basis for their decision. Well, that's not going to happen this time. This time, we're going to see the evidence. We're going to get witnesses. I hope we get video and text messages. And if Lindsey Graham follows through with his threat of bringing in FBI agents to testify, I say, hooray! Absolutely. We want to hear from the FBI too. We want to hear all about every person. We want to know what their money came from to support this. We want to know who got inside information as the thing was unfolding. We want to know what the Pentagon had to say about it, what the Capitol Police had to say about it. We want to know hook, chapter, verse, and footnotes about the whole thing. That's what we want to know. And we have the right to see it. Now, if that information ends up embarrassing senators, well, okay, I'm all right with that. It does become harder to choose to acquit Donald Trump when there is open and shut, black and white, uncontrovertible evidence of his sedition. You can choose to acquit him anyway. But the thing is, it's not just Donald Trump who is on trial. The trial is for America, but the people on trial, I know the article of impeachment says Donald J. Trump, but the evidence presented is not going to be just against Donald J. Trump, and I think the senators know that. The evidence presented is going to implicate a whole lot of folks. including some of the members of their own caucus, including some of the members in the House. And so that is what they're trying desperately to avoid. But I don't think they should be able to shirk their responsibilities. If they choose to acquit Donald Trump, that's fine. That's their business. But the American people will be judging as well. And many of us will be passing judgment on them, which is exactly what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid America watching in full technicolor the unfolding of an attack on the United States. Because they're trying to sell that is no big deal and that we should just move on. And it's a lot easier to do that when people are not seeing the video, the pictures, the chronology, the testimony, the witnesses, the harm that was done, the amount of the cost of the damages and repairs. It's a lot easier to say move on when that kind of detail is not before you. And when it is, it's a whole lot harder to say we acquit. So, am I convinced that they're all going to acquit Donald Trump? I'm not. You know why? Because I don't think the upside of doing that stays that way when the American people see every detail of what happened, including all of the detail of Trump's role in making it happen. I mean, those of us who are Twitter junkies know that there's evidence of his plotting and planning, his orders to the Pentagon, his orders to the Capitol Police, what he did to DOJ. There's evidence of all of that. But the regular people of America are not necessarily dialed into that. They may not know that what the Pentagon did to hold back the National Guard. They may not know that there was a planning session at Trump International Hotel beforehand where members of Congress and members in the Senate and people in high places were meeting with leaders of the Proud Boys. We're meeting with leaders of these other militias, right? They may not know the degree to which this was fully coordinated and pre-planned. They may not know where the money came from to bring up busloads of these folks and where they were staying and who's paying for their hotels. They may not know. And so I think it's really important that the American people be informed of all of that, because that gives you a very different flavor than just, patriotic protesters who just, showed up on the Capitol steps, didn't know what they were doing there. Oh my gosh, I just follow what Donald Trump said. That may be true. Then again, that may be total bullshit. And there's only one way to figure that out. You put it on trial. You subject it to cross-examination, and you let the American people watch and decide for themselves who is and who is not credible. That's what you do in any kind of trial. And it's a precursor to the criminal trials that will take place for a lot of these people as well. Because keep in mind, a Senate trial on impeachment can only do two things. It can remove the president from the presidency if he's a sitting president. Can't do that. If he's convicted now, all it can do is prohibit him from running again. I, for one, stand for Donald Trump never running for office again. I think that that's something worth doing. But more importantly, he'd be the first president in American history to be convicted. And I think it's extremely important that he hold that title. So, the Senate trial is America's trial. And as much as the Republicans do not want America to see chapter, verse, and footnotes of what they did, it's not up to them. It's up to the Democrats, who will be led by Patrick Leahy in this process. And I hope that they put on a robust case, the case they never got to put on the first time they tried to spare us the agony of Donald Trump. If you like what you just heard, you can find out so much more and hear so much more on my Patreon channel, patreon.com/Pam Keith FL. That's where you hear the rest of this discussion, and there's lots more to share.